Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. Please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me before we get into today's live stream. My name is Allison Wellington, certified dating and relationship coach, and I primarily work with busy professional women to teach them how to attract and keep the partners that they deserve. How do I do that? I do that through my 12-month mentorship program, The Partner You Deserve. I do it through trainings, through master classes, through my retreats. I host a yearly international beach retreat next year, March 28th through April the 1st. We will be in St. Martin, and that's for women who are serious about leveling up so that they can show up as their best selves in their romantic life. It doesn't matter if you are single as a dollar bill, if you are engaged, if you are married, if you are committed. This trip is for you, and I will make sure that I have all of the links available in the description, pinned in the comments. It's already linked in my bio. Also, before we get into today's training, I want to let you guys know that I will be hosting, and this is a quick one, my full length with the full breadth training that I will be hosting on Tuesday, December the 23rd. Is coming up, and it is where the marriage-minded men actually are in 2026, where the marriage-minded men actually are in 2026, because one of the number one questions I get is, where are the marriage-minded men? Where are the men who are serious? Where are the men who want commitment? Where are the men who want to be poured into, who want to pour into others, who wants to build a family, who wants support, who wants to be a support? Where are those men? And I'm tired of answering them on every live stream every week for the last 5 years. So instead, I decided that I was going to create this full length, full hour live training, which is on December the 23rd. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the comments on YouTube and on Facebook, so you guys can get it right now immediately. And if you are watching this on Instagram land, you can comment or DM, I'm putting it now, the word, there we go, strategy, EGY. It'd be good if I could spell, or the link to the full training. Okay, I should be able to pin that. Good. And here we go. Okay, so why are we here this evening? I started this live stream series on Thursday, Friday, today, Saturday. This is day 3. I'll do another one on Sunday. Tomorrow, I'll do another one on Monday. And then Tuesday is the training. The reason why I decided to do this live stream series is because I want you guys to be fully prepared for the real work that we are going to do in Tuesday's training, where the marriage-minded men actually are in 2026. And I want to make sure that you guys get your money's worth. So then there is some foundational pieces and elements that I have to make sure is absolutely clear to all of you before we get into the real deal Holyfield on Tuesday, the 23rd. Okay. So for day 3, we are discussing why dating apps aren't the problem, but they aren't the solution either. Why dating apps aren't the problem, but they aren't the solution either. Okay. So again, I want to talk about dating apps today because I know that that's a place where a lot of frustration lives. My clients, women who are in my audience, in my community, in my private community, the Future Wives Club, complain a lot around dating apps. Some of you are tired of them. Some of you feel like they're your only option. Some of you feel like downloading them and re-downloading them, hoping that this time will be different. You keep jumping around to different apps to see if maybe your experience will be different depending on which app you are on. And I want to slow this conversation down just a little bit. I want to slow this conversation down just a little bit because dating apps, they're not evil, but they're also not magic. They are a tool, and like any other tool, they only work well if they're used intentionally. If you take a hammer and you try to fix an engine with it, you can't blame the hammer. We have to make sure that the intention of the tool is being used effectively. Hammers are amazing for the job that they're supposed to do, and when you know how to use them appropriately. So we have to make sure that we are using dating apps with intention and we're using them appropriately. I know some of you will say, well, they're not using it with intention. There are plenty of people who have met their match, who are in healthy, committed relationships, engaged and married, who did meet on dating apps. So it can't be 100% it's the problem. A lot of the disappointment around dating apps comes from expecting them to do the work that they were never designed to do. They weren't designed to do. Okay. So there does have to be some kind of effort that's behind what you're doing on dating apps so that you can have the most successful experience. So number one, this is the first thing that I see consistently. Apps make it very easy for you to participate in dating without you actually being engaged in dating, right? So you're participating, right? But you're not engaged. So swiping feels like effort. Oh, look how hard I worked. I swiped through 20 profiles today. Whoop-de-doo, right? We doom scroll all the time. Messaging feels like progress. Like, oh, we're taking it up a notch. We're moving forward, right? We're messaging each other. How many DMs do you send your friends? How many messages do you send in a group chat that goes in one ear, out the other, no one read, right? So messaging alone is not progress. Matching, when you match with someone, that feels like momentum, right? But none of those things require real decision making. And if you are new to me, you're new to this community, the land of love, I like to call it, the real decision making comes in vetting. And it comes in discernment. It's you being clear on exactly what you're looking for in a partner and a partnership. And then you're asking the right questions and you're paying attention to the appropriate behaviors so that we can assess whether or not the person in front of you is the right one for you. Okay. Uzlan says, happy holidays. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tamiko says, continue to stay authentic as you bless me and many others, ma'am. I will sign up for the training. Thanks for the opportunity. God bless you. Oh, thank you, Tamiko. I appreciate that. All right. So as we were saying, you can be on an app every day and it doesn't mean that you are actually moving towards a relationship. You're reacting, you're responding, you're waiting to see what happens. You're reacting with a finger, with a swipe. You're responding with a finger, with a swipe, but you are waiting around and you're not being proactive enough because you're seeing what's happening versus being a part of the progress of what will happen. Does that make sense? So passive dating keeps you busy, but it doesn't keep you fulfilled. It keeps you occupied, right? But you're not partnered in the way that you desire. You're not making the appropriate next steps if you're doing this thing passively. And so that's the issue with dating apps. It's the user. If you're not using it appropriately, then you're not going to get the result that you're looking for, right? Does that make sense? So none of that means that something's wrong with you, but it means that the structure itself doesn't allow for the amount of clarity that I want for you. The amount of clarity that you need in order for you to really progress a relationship. Does that make sense? Please let me know in the comments if you guys are with me, if you have experienced this kind of, I'm on the app, so I'm working, but you know in your heart of hearts if you're not working, put not working in the comments if you know that you're not really putting in the effort by being on these apps. Let me know. Tell the truth. We're not working. It's just between me and you. It's just between me and you. I'm not working. I'm not putting in the effort, and it's okay. So that's why we're here. That's why you follow me. That's why I'm here to support you and to guide you. Okay. And I'm guiding you. This is the prerequisites before we get into the real training, which is on December 23rd, where the marriage-minded men actually are in 2026. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, the link is right here. Let me put it again. The link is already in the comments. I'm going to star it because I think that means that you'll be able to see it faster. And if you are on Instagram, you could just reply with the word strategy. You'll get the link, or you can click the link in my bio and you'll get it there as well. Does that make sense? Is that cool? All right, good. So let's keep going. Dating apps. It removes context. We spoke about this a little bit yesterday. It removes intention. So one of the biggest limitations with dating apps is that it strips away the context. You don't know how someone really shows up in the real world. You don't know how they move within their community. You don't know what their actual life looks like. You get a very small screenshot of what they think is the best representation of themselves in that moment. You get a snapshot, literally. You'll get a series of photos and curated writing if they even care enough to write anything. They could use chat if they wanted to. You're getting a curated snapshot versus if you're meeting people in person, you are getting, yes, it's a decent representation of who they are, right? They got up, they bathed, they put on a nice outfit, they put on a suit, they put on cologne, they got a haircut, right? A woman has on a dress, she has on shoes, her posture's a little bit different, she has on some makeup, but at least it's how they're moving in the world organically, right? And so every app, everyone gets flattened into a profile or into a box. You get a few photos, you get a few prompts, you get a few lines of text, and that makes it very easy for people to present an idea of themselves without backing it up with real behavior, right? And then the intention gets kind of blurry, right? So it's like someone can say that they want a relationship, but then there's no accountability attached to that statement. They're just throwing it out there. They're just putting it on a profile for potentially millions of people versus someone saying it to you as an individual in your face, right? Does that make sense? There's no shared environment. I'm here for the conference. Excuse me. You're here for the conference. There's a shared interest here. I'm watching you as you move around. You're watching me as I move around. I'm seeing how you laugh. I'm seeing how you drink. I'm seeing how you speak. It allows for a real analysis of an individual. Does that make sense? Right? There's no social consequences on a dating app. I'm not seeing how you are interacting with others. There's no natural follow through. It's like inorganic, for lack of a better term, right? And so this is what I really want you guys to consider, especially my ladies who are listening. The high intent men, the men who are marriage minded, they don't rely on apps alone. I didn't say they don't rely on apps. I didn't say they didn't use apps. They don't rely on apps alone, right? So it's a combination. Men who are serious about building a life don't usually outsource their entire dating life into an app because they recognize, like how you can recognize, that this is potentially the most important decision that you are going to make in your life. So then why am I going to turn that over to a $39.99 per month subscription and an algorithm? This is the person I'm going to be sharing the rest of my life with. I'm going to be having children with. I'm going to be combining my finances with, who I'm going to be spending my quality time with. When I get older, I'm going to be relying on them to potentially be making medical decisions for me. This is potentially the most important person that you are going to choose to share your life with. And we're going to turn that over to a $39.99 per month subscription and an algorithm alone. No, it doesn't mean that they don't use them. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't use them, but it means that you should not be depending on them. No dependence. They have full lives. They have routines. They have communities. They have responsibilities. And they meet people through proximity, in person, close, not just a profile. So you should be doing the same thing. What boggles my mind is that many times, and I work with women, right? So I can't speak on the exact way that men see this in full, right? But I'm going to tell you, when I work with women, they many times have an unreasonable expectation of men and what their efforts should be, and without any on their end. You said that you want a partner. The name of my program is called The Partner You Deserve. A partner, which might not be 50-50, it might not be 60-40, right? But that means there's some effort that's being put on the other end. So why do you think that, oh, there are no good people on a dating app, but you're on an app? Aren't you a good person? Right? You say no one's serious on the app, but you're serious on the app. Couldn't there be other people who are just as serious as you? You want people to be outside and be social and approach. Now, I'm not telling women to beg and chase after anybody, but Are you approachable? Are you putting yourself in a position where someone feels confident enough to come up to you? Do you seem warm? Do you seem welcoming? Do you seem like the type of person that I could come up to and I wouldn't be worried that you would reject me? I wouldn't be concerned that you're going to make a scene. And you might be thinking, oh, well, my husband will have the ultimate confidence. You have to be reasonable. This is a public space. And if you want a man who's reasonable, someone who's reasonable thinks about the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance says there's a woman over here who is beautiful. There's a woman over there who was beautiful. The woman over here has a resting bee face. She has an attitude. She's scrolling through her phone. She's reading a book. Her back is turned. She looks dismissive. This one looks warm, looks welcoming, looks like she would be engaging in conversation. We're going to talk more about how to open up and how to present in your feminine energy in the masterclass on Tuesday. The link is everywhere, right? The path of least resistance says, I'm going to go to this one. The path of least resistance says, I'm going to approach this one. We're also going to talk in depth about how you choose your role dog, your right-hand woman, right? We don't have time for that this evening. You also need to choose wisely in that arena as well. Okay, we are wrapping up. This is our last point. So we talked about dating apps. We talked about how they can potentially be limiting. The types of guys that you want are not only relying on dating apps, and it's not intelligent to do so, that you should be putting yourself out there in person. So this is where offline strategy changes everything. This is where you see things shift. Offline strategy changes dating because it brings the context back in. You see how people are being treated by the guy that you're giving an eye to. Is he warm? Is he kind? Is he tipping the bartender? Does he say, excuse me? Is he pleasant? Does he shake people's hands? Does he give a hug? Does he smile? It gives you some context on how they engage with other people who are in the same space, right? You get to see how consistent they are. You get to see how they handle responsibility, how they handle stress, how they handle follow through. If you're attending a conference and this person that you're interested in is a speaker, they get a question that's off the chain, unexpected. How do they deal when someone's pushing back? How do they deal when someone is argumentative? How do they deal when someone talks too much, right? You're watching a person you're interested in potentially, and he's the bartender and he's being overwhelmed with orders. How does he behave? He's the DJ. He's the host of the event. He's the promoter, right? You're watching this person in real time and you're seeing how consistent they are, how they handle responsibility, how they handle stress. When you're in the right environments, a lot of that clarity shows up faster versus a snapshot on a dating app. And it's not because people are perfect, but it's because the behavior is visible. I don't expect perfection. All I'm asking is that I want you to be able to bear witness to their behavior in real time. Okay. This is not about going everywhere and doing everything. This is about being intentional about where you place yourself. Intentional about where you place yourself. And it's not an issue of women needing more exposure. Some people do. Some women don't go outside enough. But for those who are venturing outside, you're in the wild, as they call it. It's not about more exposure. It's about better positioning, right? I need you to be going to the right places. And I want to be clear about something before I wrap this up. Deleting dating apps won't magically fix your dating life. I don't want you to walk away from this and say, Allison said that dating apps are bad after years of she's saying that we should try them. It should be a supplement, right? But staying on them without a strategy won't help you either. It won't fix it. So what changes results is understanding where commitment-minded men actually spend their time and how you can position yourself so that you're not guessing about where you should be going. So that's why I'm teaching my paid masterclass, Where the Marriage-Minded Men Are, in 2026. It's happening on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. I'm going to go deeper than what we can do here. I'm going to be talking about environments and access and strategy in a way that's practical and that's realistic. If marriage is the goal and you need more help, and it's more than just dating apps, then you should be on this training because I can help you with a plan. Does that make sense? I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to drop whatever questions that you have. I am here on YouTube, I'm here on Facebook, and I'm here on Instagram. My Instagrammy people, if you have a question, come over to YouTube. And if this has been valuable to you, make sure that you like and subscribe and you do all the things so that I can be sure to deliver more of this type of content to you. Tamiko says, I can't be on the apps due to my job. Yes, I've had a lot of clients, especially my lawyers, who are not on dating apps because of their job. I want to meet someone outside of the DMV. I prefer NYC. Excellent. So, Tamiko, there's a couple of things you're going to do. Number one, you're going to join me for the training on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then the next thing you're going to do, right, is you're going to join my Future Wives Club. I'm going to put the link for the Future Wives Club everywhere. I'm going to do it right now in this moment so you can have access to it. Why? In the Future Wives Club, I place events every week. Paste. Okay, good. I put events every week for women across the country to be attending. Every single week, I have a post for New York Wives, Atlanta Wives, Dallas Wives, Chicago Wives, Cali Wives, Oakland Wives, Miami Wives. I don't care, DMV Wives, right? So every single week, I share events that you should be attending. And so that could give you some insight on where you should be going on a continuous basis. So again, you're going to join me on Tuesday for the training, 7 p.m. Eastern. The link is everywhere. And I should have also, I think you're on my email list, Tamiko. So, right, we'll have that. And then after that training, you are going to join my Future Wives Club so you can get access every week. And this is for anybody who's on here. Every week, I drop events for you to attend across the country. Y'all know I'm in Brooklyn. I'm sure you could tell from my accent. But it's not just limited to New York events. So I make sure that all of my future wives have events that they should be attending frequently. Does that make sense? All right, folks, if it is nothing else, it has been a pleasure. Make sure that you join us on Tuesday for Where the Marriage-Minded Men Actually Are in 2026. The link is everywhere. It'll also be in the description here. It'll be in the comments here, and it's already linked in my bio. It has been a pleasure. I'm heading out with my girlfriends to a pink miss. So y'all gonna see on my Instagram and on my YouTube in a little bit, on my Facebook, me with the girls. All right, folks, it's been a pleasure. Have a good one. Bye.